Pam Grier, an icon of 70s cinema, was an unexpected guest on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Everyone was shocked when the producers announced she would appear in a special episode. The excitement among fans was massive. After all, Pam had starred in action-packed and bold films like Foxy Brown, far from the light-hearted sitcom vibe. The producers wanted her to play a larger-than-life character, and Will Smith was thrilled. Pam arrived on set, radiating confidence and charm, but the story behind her invitation was more than just celebrity appeal. She was known for her unapologetic attitude, and the writers wanted to inject some of that energy into Will's world. Rehearsals went smoothly at first, but Pam's approach was unconventional. She often improvised lines and added comedic twists that were not in the script. The cast found her energy infectious, but some of the crew worried that her improvisations might be too bold for a family-friendly show. By the end of the day, whispers started circulating about the Pam Grier effect. Little did anyone know what happened during this first taping would change her relationship with the show forever. Fans think it was a minor incident, but insiders reveal it became a defining moment in TV history. Pam Grier's entrance on set was unforgettable. She didn't just walk in, she commanded the room. Costume designers had dressed her in a striking outfit meant to capture her legendary status, but she added her own flair, dramatic accessories, oversized sunglasses, and a presence that screamed, "I run this scene." Will Smith reportedly couldn't stop laughing, while Uncle Phil's actor, James Avery, admitted later that he had never experienced anyone walk onto a sitcom set with so much energy, but some producers were uneasy. Pam's improvisations were crossing lines, making jokes that were edgy for a primetime TV show. During the rehearsal, Pam delivered a line that wasn't scripted, something humorous, but with a sarcastic edge. The crew froze, unsure how to react. Will, however, laughed so hard he nearly dropped his prop. It seemed harmless, but the network executives had strict guidelines about content and tone. The director tried to intervene subtly, asking Pam to stick to the script. She shrugged and said, "I'm here to make it real." While her confidence was inspiring, it began to clash with the rigid structure of the sitcom. Cameras rolled, fans cheered, but behind the scenes, tension was brewing. By the time filming wrapped for her scenes, the crew was divided. Some called her a genius who brought the episode to life, while others worried her bold personality might have crossed a line that could never be undone. During the taping of the pivotal scene, Pam Grier delivered what would later be called the infamous line. The writers had scripted a family-friendly joke, but Pam couldn't resist adding her signature twist. She altered the dialogue, inserting a cheeky innuendo that was hilarious but risky. The studio executives reportedly went silent. For fans watching at home, it was subtle, many didn't even notice. But in the control room, alarms were going off. The line skirted the edge of what was acceptable on network television at the time. Will Smith loved it. He even improvised alongside her, escalating the humor. The laughter from the set was genuine, but laughter alone doesn't make a scene acceptable for primetime TV. The executives feared backlash from parents and sponsors. Pam, unaware of the brewing storm, believed she was enhancing the show, adding layers to a family sitcom that rarely had that level of raw, bold energy. She had been a queen of empowerment in her films, and she treated this appearance as a way to shine again in a new context. After the scene wrapped, whispers of, "We may have a problem," began to circulate. That single line, playful and daring, would eventually be the reason Pam Grier never returned to the show, a decision that shocked the cast and fans alike. Immediately after filming, network executives called an emergency meeting. They watched the footage repeatedly, analyzing the infamous line and its potential impact. Some argued it was harmless fun, while others believed it risked the reputation of the beloved sitcom. Pam Grier had unintentionally put the network in a difficult position. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a family show, and the network prided itself on being wholesome. Executives feared complaints, angry letters from viewers, and bad press. They had to make a quick decision: cut her scenes entirely, or leave them with edits. Meanwhile, WRD got to the cast. Will Smith reportedly found it hilarious, while the supporting actors were divided. Some thought Pam was a comedic genius, others worried she had gone too far. James Avery later admitted he understood both sides. The humor worked, but the line had been too edgy. The producers faced a dilemma. They loved Pam Grier's energy, charisma, and star power, but television was about control. The network's concern was clear. Even one misstep could change public perception. What seemed like harmless fun had turned into a potential PR nightmare. In the end, a decision was made that shocked Pam, the cast, and even some producers, a decision that would forever mark her appearance as a one-time event. Pam Grier returned to set the next day, expecting to continue filming. Instead, she was called into a quiet office by the head producer. With a heavy heart, they explained that due to her improvisation and the controversial line, the network decided she could not appear in any future episodes. Pam was stunned. She had thought she was bringing energy and humor to the show, but her boldness had backfired. She tried to reason, explaining that her intentions were to entertain, not offend. The producers sympathized, but the network's decision was final. The news spread quickly among the cast. Will Smith reportedly felt guilty. He loved her performance and had tried to defend her. Some crew members were upset, believing Pam had been unfairly penalized for being too talented and confident. Pam's legendary status in Hollywood meant she could brush it off professionally, but it was a rare moment of public disappointment. For fans, it was almost invisible. They didn't realize that behind-the-scenes drama had prevented future appearances from one of cinema's most iconic stars. The incident also became a cautionary tale for TV guest stars. No matter how big your name, network rules often outweigh talent and charisma. Pam left the set with dignity, but a lingering question remained: what might have been if the network had been more lenient? Years later, Will Smith opened up about the incident in interviews. He recalled how Pam's energy had transformed the episode, saying it was one of the funniest tapings he had ever experienced. He also admitted feeling frustrated that the network ruined the fun by banning her from returning. Will's admiration for Pam went beyond her comedic timing. He praised her confidence, her ability to command attention, and her willingness to challenge norms. In his eyes, she had brought something unforgettable to a sitcom that sometimes played it too safe. He also reflected on how different television was in the 90s. Networks were cautious, fearing anything that might upset advertisers or conservative viewers. By today's standards, Pam's line might have been considered harmless or even praised for its edge, but back then it was a big deal. Will has often expressed regret that fans never got to see more of Pam Grier on the show. The chemistry was undeniable, and her episode remains iconic among fans who noticed her presence. Yet behind the laughter, the incident serves as a reminder of the fine line between bold entertainment and network restrictions. When the episode aired, fans were amazed by Pam Grier's guest appearance. Social media didn't exist yet, but letters and magazine interviews reflected the excitement. Many viewers didn't even realize there had been controversy behind the scenes. Fans praised her comedic timing, charisma, and ability to match Will Smith's energy. She became a standout in a series already known for its humor and heart. Some later wondered why she never returned, sparking rumors and urban legends about the incident. Pam's single episode gained a cult-like status. Fans dissected every scene, quoted her lines, and debated which lines were improvised versus scripted. The mystery behind her absence added to her legendary aura. What had happened behind the scenes was more intriguing than the episode itself. This episode became a testament to the power of celebrity presence on TV. One guest star, one bold line, and suddenly the show had a moment that fans would remember for decades, even if they didn't know the full story. The incident taught Hollywood an important lesson. Star power can be both an asset and a risk. Pam Grier's charisma brought instant attention, but it also highlighted the tension between creative freedom and network control. Producers realized that managing a legendary guest star required balancing their boldness with scripted boundaries. One misstep could create controversy, or worse, ban someone from returning. For Pam, it was a reminder that even Hollywood icons have limits when it comes to network television. For the cast and crew, it was a lesson in diplomacy. While improvisation can elevate a scene, networks rarely tolerate unpredictable humor from big stars. This incident is still referenced in TV production circles as an example of how too much star power can sometimes backfire. Pam herself learned how to navigate mainstream television, understanding that her reputation for boldness, while legendary, could clash with certain expectations. Despite never returning, Pam Grier's episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air remains a fan favorite. It's replayed on streaming platforms, celebrated for its humor, and remembered for the unique energy she brought. The infamous line has become part of television lore, a moment when an iconic movie star disrupted the comfort zone of a family sitcom. While the network feared controversy, the audience celebrated her boldness. In interviews, cast members often reminisce about how fun it was to work with her. Even if the network disagreed, Pam's appearance left an indelible mark on the show's history. The episode reminds fans that behind every sitcom there are stories of creative clashes, bold moves, and moments that could have changed everything if handled differently. Imagining Pam Grier as a recurring guest on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is tantalizing. She could have added a layer of humor, edginess, and star power unmatched by any other guest. Though the network decided against her return, her legacy endures. Fans still debate what might have happened if she had been allowed back. Would she have become a beloved recurring character? Would the show have pushed boundaries even further? What remains certain is that Pam Grier's brief appearance was unforgettable. Bold, unapologetic, and magnetic, she left a mark that generations of fans still remember. The story behind why she never returned is a lesson in Hollywood politics, network control, and the rare moments when raw talent clashes with structured television. Even decades later, her one-episode cameo continues to fascinate fans, proof that sometimes one unforgettable performance is enough to make history.